There are over 100 AI coding tools out there, and you genuinely don't need most of them. In this lesson, we're cutting the noise down to 4: Cursor, Copilot, Claude Code, and ChatGPT, because together they handle about 90% of real development work. But here's the catch. They're not interchangeable. Each one fits a specific job, and once you learn to match the tool to the task, you stop tool hopping and start compounding. So here's what you're walking out with. First, the 4 archetypes in editor pair: agent in terminal, web chat, and inline IDE. Once you see them, the whole market clicks into place. Then a side-by-side on the 4 tools: features, pricing, latency, privacy, and when each one actually wins. After that, a 5-question decision flow you can run in 30 seconds, and finally a buy order at $0, $20, or $60. The senior path that compounds, not the maximalist trap. Let's start with the map. Every AI dev tool you'll encounter fits one of 4 archetypes: in editor pair like Cursor or Copilot, agent in terminal like Claude Code or Aider, web chat like ChatGPT or Claude.ai, and inline IDE plugins like JetBrains AI or Tab9. Brands churn every month, but these 4 buckets are stable. So when the next shiny tool drops, don't ask, is it better? Ask which archetype it is and whether you already own one. Now zoom into those archetypes with a working matrix. Cursor and Copilot both shine for daily in-editor writing. Copilot's a hair faster. Cursor wins on multi-file work through Composer. Claude Code lives in your terminal and handles native multi-file refactors when you need an agent loose on the repo. ChatGPT and Claude.ai stay in the browser for planning and learning. Pricing shifts, features churn, but this shape holds. Bookmark it and match the tool to the task. To make that matching automatic, run this 5-question flow before any AI task. Start with where you are. Not in your editor? That's a browser conversation. ChatGPT or Claude.ai. In the editor on a single file? Cursor or Copilot. Multi-file refactor or a scripted job. Hand it to Claude Code. Still planning or wrestling unfamiliar tech. Claude.ai for the heavy reasoning. 2 weeks of walking this flow and you'll stop guessing entirely. Let's ground that flow in real scenarios. Reach for Cursor or Copilot when you're writing a fresh function, renaming inline, or just want tab complete to handle the boilerplate. Hand it to Claude Code when the work spans 5+ files, big refactors, test suites for a whole module, library migrations, and jump to Claude.ai or ChatGPT when you're planning architecture, decoding a nasty stack trace, or learning an API cold. Wrong tool, 30 minutes gone. Right tool, 5. Now the money question. You don't need to subscribe to everything. Start at 0 and climb only when you hit a real limit. The free tier is genuinely viable. ChatGPT, Claude.ai, and Continue.dev will carry you through a solid daily workflow. $20 gets you Cursor Pro as your main pair, and that's where most senior devs park indefinitely. $60 is power user territory, only worth it when AI is genuinely your edge. Once your stack is set, 6 small habits separate the pros from the tool hoppers. Trial monthly and cancel quarterly, so churn never locks you in. For high-stakes code, run it past 2 models. Claude and ChatGPT catch different things. Lock down privacy with .Copilot Ignore and Cursor's privacy mode in client repos. Pair Cursor with Claude.ai as your 80/20 default. Keep the same tool across every machine for muscle memory, and jot a one-liner whenever AI fails. After a month, you'll know exactly where to upgrade. Here's the whole lesson on one screen. 4 archetypes, not 100 tools. Cursor for your daily IDE flow, Claude.ai for thinking, ChatGPT for tools and plugins, Claude Code when you need an agent across files, and Copilot as your fallback when the others are blocked. Check privacy mode, start free, go monthly, cross-check the high-stakes work, and log the failures. $20 a month covers 80% of devs. Screenshot this one. Before you screenshot that, here are the 5 traps I watch devs fall into. Subscribing to all 4 just in case. That's $100 a month for tools you don't open. Forcing one tool to do everything. Locking in annual before you've tested monthly. Ignoring privacy defaults on client code. And tool hopping every 2 weeks, which kills your muscle memory and your saved prompts. Pick your stack, stick with it a month, reevaluate quarterly. So here's your homework. 3 exercises, 30 minutes total, and the buyer's instinct locks in. First, take one real task today and run it through Cursor, Claude Code, and Claude.ai side by side. Second, grab 5 tasks from last week and apply the flowchart retroactively. Most devs discover they picked wrong 60 to 70% of the time. Third, cancel one subscription you're not getting value from and see if you actually miss it. You probably won't, and that's $30 to $60 freed up for a tool you'll use daily. And that's lesson 03 in the books. You've got the 4 archetypes: the decision flowchart, a sane buy order, and the discipline to match tool to task instead of chasing every shiny release. Foundations are done. Now we shift from choosing to using. Lesson 04 is where it pays off. Tab completion mastery, multi-file edits, refactor patterns. The 80% of AI usage that earns its keep in week 1. See you there.